From the Foundation studio right here on Biloxi's Back Bay, I want to welcome you to SuperTalk Outdoors, where we celebrate every single Monday at lunchtime the world-class outdoors of the state of Mississippi, because, as I say every single week, Mississippi is the capital of the outdoors in America. I want to thank you for joining us on the powerful SuperTalk Mississippi Radio Network, or on SuperTalk TV at C Spire TV. But some of you are watching on YouTube and some on Facebook or listening on your favorite podcast. It's July the 17th, 2023. By the way, the views on this show are mine, not those of the Foundation. When it comes to outdoors and outdoors issues, you can count on me to say what needs to be said. And listen, I am honored and humbled to be in this position. You know, I say it every week that we come to you from the Foundation studio. This is the home of SuperTalk Outdoors. The Foundation for Mississippi Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks is the formal name of the foundation. They're the only outdoor foundation that directly supports the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks. So they're a 501c nonprofit. They raise money that supports wildlife and educational projects that help the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks. They also fund conservation projects that are not associated with the department from time to time. All of this is to help outdoorsmen and women and our kids and our grandkids come together in the outdoors and be able to have more enjoyment. And that's what they're focused on. That's why I say the foundation is doing generationally important work. So if you look at the board of the foundation, what you're going to see is a group of incredibly dedicated conservation leaders. And you'll also see democracy in action, as they have a laser focus on deciding what issues they want to tackle, like the Outdoor Stewardship Trust Fund that the governor recently signed into law. The Outdoor Stewardship Trust Fund is off the ground and running and doing incredibly good work. The leadership of the foundation, the actual people who lead the foundation, are doing incredibly important work, and they have formed this organization that is second to none. Their ability, for example, to form coalitions in this state is some of the strongest in the state. So I can't say enough good things about them. They also have a lobbyist. His name is Ben Thompson, and he works overtime to understand deeply how legislation that crops up throughout the legislative session will impact our outdoors enjoyment. So they pay very, very close attention to what's happening at the legislature. Again, the Outdoor Stewardship Trust Fund is a great example of the work that they've done to really latch on to an issue. And if there is an issue, the foundation kicks into action. That's why I often say that the foundation is focused on important issues around protecting our outdoors heritage. They are a key reason Mississippi is the capital of the outdoors in America. Now, there are two extremely important things that are coming up that's related to the foundation. The first one is the Foundation Raffle. Now, listen, the best way to find out about the raffle is just to go to Google or Safari on your phone and say Mississippi Foundation Raffle. Just put that in, Mississippi Foundation Raffle, and what's going to come up is the opportunity to buy some tickets to this really, really incredible raffle that has some wonderful prizes that I'm going to detail here in just a second. And it's also going to give you an opportunity to support the foundation's mission. So picture yourself behind the wheel of a brand new Ford vehicle with a $50,000 voucher, or going turkey hunting with turkey hunting legends Cuz Strickland and Preston Pittman. Imagine yourself on the adventure of a lifetime on an African safari, or taking a group of your friends to Argentina for a dove hunt. If you haven't been to Argentina dove hunting, man, that is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. There's also the ultimate outdoor package filled with top-of-the-line gear for all of your outdoor adventures. So the raffle is closing on July the 30th, so you got to hurry. We need your support. The foundation needs your support. So search Mississippi Foundation Raffle to learn more about the prizes and buy your tickets. The other important fundraiser that's coming up is not this weekend, but next weekend, and that's the Mississippi Ag and Outdoor Expo, July 28th through the 30th. And without any further ado, let me bring my friend Andy Gipson, the Commissioner from Mississippi's Department of Agriculture and Commerce. We're going to talk about many things, but including the Expo. How you doing, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing great, Ricky. Good afternoon. Thanks for having me back on.
I always enjoy having you, man. We got, it's the opportunity to support the foundation is you're going to kill two birds with one stone. One is if you go to the expo, you're going to see this one of a kind event, and the other with the raffle you get a chance to get these great prizes, but in both cases you get a chance to contribute back to the foundation and help it achieve its mission, which is to make Mississippi the capital of the outdoors. We're lucky to have the foundation and these opportunities for the average person to assist in that effort, isn't it, aren't we?
Absolutely. It's a great organization. We worked together for the last 3 years on different issues, and I've seen the fruit of their labor in terms of what's come out of the legislature, the Outdoor Stewardship Trust Fund, and now there are actual projects that have been approved to help cultivate better habitat in Mississippi for all of our wildlife enthusiasts and for the health of our wildlife in general. And so it's a great resource, one of our greatest resources, the great outdoors, and the foundation exists to support that. We're very pleased to again host the Mississippi Ag and Outdoor Expo. And I'll tell you this, my son and I were talking earlier, we're going to buy our tickets to the raffle pretty soon. We're going to get in that running. That is a great package. What a great set of prizes to win.
Yeah, it's like, literally each one of them is like a once in a lifetime opportunity. So people should just search Mississippi Foundation Raffle and get your tickets. Go now. Jot yourself a note right now. Mississippi Foundation Raffle, and go get your tickets. The Ag and Outdoor Expo. What a unique approach. You see Ag Expos and you see Outdoor Expos, but rarely do you see an Ag and Outdoor Expo. But they really do fit together wonderfully, don't they?
They do, and the last 5 shows have proven that. We've actually had 3 years worth of shows, but we fit in a show during the Dixie National, during the springtime outreach as well. So that's been a great event. And bringing together farms, farming equipment, farming needs, farmers, and outdoor enthusiasts, hunting and fishing. And what we realize is we're the same people. It's the same base, the same folks across Mississippi who are doing the same thing. Farmers are the original conservationists, and our hunters and fishermen out here are involved in making sure that we harvest and we protect our habitat. And so working together, we put this show together. It's inside the brand new Mississippi trademark. And that's why this fairgrounds exists, to promote Mississippi agriculture and industry. And what greater industry than the combination of farming and the great outdoors here in Mississippi.
Well, both of them multi-billion-dollar economic impacts on Mississippi, and you're right. The opportunity for outdoorsmen to work with farmers, it goes hand in hand. I think about the 3 farms that I lease in the Mississippi Delta and the work that we do with the Dunn family that they also hunt, but they farm thousands of acres in the Mississippi Delta, and we work together. And so the opportunity to go to an Ag Expo and see the kind of equipment and the changes in the equipment and how we can use those not only to farm better and more efficiently, but to also make food plots and do the work that we need to do to enhance the outdoor enjoyment. It just makes sense to have an Ag and Outdoor Expo at the same time.
It does, and especially now, this is the kind of the last hurrah before school gets back in July 28th through 30th. Everybody's starting to think about the fall. I'm starting to think about getting in the woods and what we need to do to prepare for that. So it's the perfect opportunity to come out and support what you need as a hunter, as a fisherman, and what you may need on your farm, and in terms of what you're doing there on your farm for habitat and for wildlife. But it's also a great opportunity to support the foundation, the work of the foundation. These tickets are going for that purpose, and we invite you to come and celebrate the great Mississippi outdoors with us, July 28th through 30th. That starts at noon on that Friday, and then it goes all the way through Sunday. So we're excited about it. I'll be there myself.
And I hope to be there myself as well. Keith, Killebrew Memorial Rodeo, tell us about that as well.
Well, this is a new event, and we're really excited about it because, as you may know, Keith Killebrew was a farmer. He lost his life actually helping train farmers in another part of the world, getting farms established in South America. But you know what? His wife, Alyssa, has come up with this idea to have this rodeo, and it's turned out to be a huge rodeo event. It's going to be the largest international professional rodeo association rodeo in America, inside the Coliseum, and it's happening during the Ag and Outdoor Expo. It'll be at night. It'll be 7 o'clock. It'll be actually on Friday, July 28th. A great rodeo event, a sanctioned UBF Ultimate Bullfighting event every night. Bull poker, that's an event that you don't want to miss. There'll be a lot of bullfighting action and bull poker and all kind of great events.
We'll come back on the other side and continue to talk about it. But man, you're talking about an action-packed weekend. And incidentally, a member of the Killebrew family is the farmer on one of the farms I lease, and he's just terrific family. I mean, just what a devastating piece of news that was when Keith was unfortunately killed. When we come back on the other side, we'll continue our conversation with Andy Gipson, and we'll talk more about this very, very important memorial, actually historic memorial rodeo that's coming up in conjunction with the Ag and Outdoor Expo. We'll see you after this.
This is Will Primos, and I want you to join me in supporting Mississippi Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks Foundation with their Conservation Raffle. The Foundation is a nonprofit organization with a mission of enhancing and supporting the projects and programs of the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks. The Conservation Raffle is an opportunity for you to have an awesome chance to win some incredibly exciting prizes, including a $50,000 Ford vehicle voucher, a turkey hunt with legends Cuz Strickland and Preston Pittman, or the ultimate outdoors package filled with amazing items. With your raffle ticket, you'll be supporting the enhancement of Mississippi's natural resources and protecting our hunting heritage for generations to come. Deadline is Sunday, July 30th, 2023. Purchase tickets online at foundationraffle.com.
Welcome back to SuperTalk Outdoors as we listen to my buddy Steve Azar in One Mississippi, the state song from Mississippi. We're visiting with my friend Andy Gipson, who's the commissioner at the Mississippi Department of Agriculture and Commerce, and we're talking about the Ag and Outdoor Expo coming up not this weekend, but next weekend. And then sort of embedded in that is another event called the Keith Killebrew Memorial Rodeo that it's action-packed. So what, I mean, it just turned out to be this like incredible weekend, hasn't it, Andy?
It has, and it's all for a great cause. Whether you're attending the Ag and Outdoor Foundation, the Expo for the Foundation benefiting their good work, or this rodeo, we want you to come to both because the Killebrew family had a vision to take this tragedy of Keith's death as his airplane crashed as he was traveling in Paraguay helping establish farms there in South America. That tragedy, they want to turn that into a good cause and a good purpose, and actually have established this foundation to help train up and coming beginning farmers here in Mississippi. One of our greatest needs is the next generation of workforce, and we all know that. We talk about it all the time, but here's someone who's actually doing something about it and establishing a foundation to train new farmers on their farm in connection with their farming operation in the Delta. And all of the proceeds that will be raised during the rodeo are going to go for that great cause to honor the memory and the legacy of Keith Killebrew. We began planning this back in the fall. It's really coming together. We've got, I think, 400 cowboys, cowgirls lined up to come compete in this rodeo inside the Coliseum on Friday, July 28th. And again on Saturday, the 29th. And then we've lined up Friday, if you like country music, you like Chapel Hart. They're going to be in concert, Mississippi's own Chapel Hart in concert in the Coliseum Friday at 7 o'clock during the rodeo. And then on Saturday, Drake Milligan, who was also on American Idol and who was one of the up-and-coming country music stars, he'll be in concert Saturday, the 29th. So I want to see you there, and we want to bring the family out. I tell folks, rodeo, to me, is the original American sport. This is where it all got started in America, and it's still a patriotic event. We stand for the flag. We stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, for our national anthem. We honor America and God and, of course, our families. So we want to invite you out to these great events. It's going to be a jam-packed weekend. There's also a roping event happening in the Equine Center that same weekend in connection with the rodeo. So lots to do, lots to see, whether you're getting ready for fall hunting season or getting back in the woods a bit later this year. You come on out, enjoy the show, and stay for the rodeo. We want to see you there.
And listen, you mentioned Chapel Hart. What a great story that is. On my show, the Ricky Matthews Show on the Coast, I had them on within the past 6 months or so. And that video on YouTube has been viewed tens of thousands of times. And, you know, it sort of started to rise as people began to discover them on the America's Got Talent TV show. But as they just after that sort of unleashed their own independent tour around the country, and I've followed them every step of the way, and they have been so incredibly well received. And Danica, who's one of the lead singers of that group, they have beautiful harmonies, incidentally, but Danica and I have chatted back and forth. I think that they have tremendous potential because, and I think that being so well received, they write all their own music, and it's rooted in just sort of this Mississippi soul of country music. And man, we're lucky to have a group like that coming out of Mississippi, aren't we?
We are. It's a great story. It shines another spotlight on the talent that we have here in our state and have had, Elvis Presley and even before then. So what we have to offer this country and the world is unparalleled in terms of music. Here's a success story, a group that got started here in South Mississippi and has really made it big. And we're so honored to have them on the tour here in the Coliseum on that Friday, July 28th. I want to encourage people to get their tickets for that. Friday, July 28th for Chapel Hart plus the rodeo. It's a great deal. And then Drake Milligan on the 29th. And, come early for the Ag and Outdoor Expo. You can find it all right here at the Mississippi Fairgrounds.
Hey, one other quick comment about Chapel Hart. I read a review from this past weekend, actually. They played in Gulfport. They made a stop to Gulfport. I guess they wanted to see their family and friends while they were on the road.
Right.
And the review that I read was incredible. It said that the person that did the review said that they had never seen an artist have such a relationship with the audience as Chapel Hart did. They're so passionate. They're all about connecting. They tell the stories of their songs, and again, they write their own music, which is amazing in and of itself. But anyway, yeah, people need to pay attention to that. But again, it's just part of this incredible weekend. Anything else you want to say about the Ag and Outdoor Expo? Because I want to ask you about the new wild turkey control program. But before we do, I just want to make sure that you don't have anything else you want to say.
Well, I just want to invite everybody out. I mean, I don't know about you, but our kids are getting ready to go back to school. This is the weekend sort of before that, and it's a great opportunity to bring the kids out. Kids get in free under a certain age to this show. And I do want to mention this. As part of the Ag and Outdoor Expo, the foundation is doing something phenomenal. They're buying hunting and fishing license, all season hunting and fishing license for every youth 15 and under. I mean, that is a big deal. So you got a family of 3 or 4 kids that like to hunt and fish. What better place to come? You come to the expo, and they're going to get you lined up with your ticket, with your hunting license right there for this season. And we need more young people involved in the great Mississippi outdoors. It's the best thing that we can do for them. Get them plugged into the outdoor experience here in the greatest state in this country.
So when I visit with people, the president and chairman of the foundation, John Taylor, and others who are on the executive committee and board, and see their commitment to young people and youth and what they're trying to do as it relates to that, you dive into that and you realize, holy mackerel, man, they have literally brought thousands of kids into the outdoors who probably otherwise would not have been able to have the opportunity through shooting and archery programs and all the other stuff that they're doing. I mean, you look at the shooting and archery programs in the high schools today and what's happening there and the number of kids that are involved and what they're learning about safety. And it's Mississippi is like laying the groundwork that is a great example for the country, aren't they?
We are. I think that archery program is the fastest growing sport in Mississippi. At least it was the last time I checked. My own children have been involved in that and have learned so much from it. So yeah, supporting a great cause. That's what this whole weekend is about. July 28th, 29th, and 30th at the Expo. And then you get to support agriculture at the Killabrew Rodeo the 28th and 29th and enjoy a great show of country music at the same time. Come on out and enjoy it.
Hey, listen, my son, who is a absolute outdoor fanatic, he's a lawyer here on the coast. Every time he comes here, he grabs his Matthew bow, goes to the pool deck. We've got a real life size deer target, and at 39 yards, he patterns them all his arrows within sort of a half an inch of one another. And every time he comes, he's trying to get that muscle memory down, so when he gets caught in that weird scenario when he's hunting, he wants to be ready. But it's fun to see your kids engage in that, isn't it?
It is. It is. They're learning skills that'll go with them for their lifetime and for the next generation. So
yeah, they really will. So the new wild hog control program equipment cost share program, that's pretty exciting.
Well, it is, and we are really excited about this program. We made a few waves a couple of years ago when Mississippi became the first state in America to have a Department of Agriculture-led wild hog control program, and most people liked it. We had a few naysayers, but I want to thank our Mississippi legislature for authorizing that, getting it off the ground, and then recently, the United States Congress took note of what we're doing. It's been so successful as we're trapping on private farms and forest lands across the state, working with private landowners. We've had so much interest and so much success that Congress took note of this. Our own Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith worked out a proposal that we're actually getting some congressional directed funding to expand this program. And one of the things we're going to do is work with landowners for a cost share program to acquire more traps. We need to be doing more to fight these wild, invasive, disease-ridden, habitat-destroying, non-native wild hogs. And we've talked about it enough. Now we need to take action and start killing some hogs. So we're proud of what we've already done, but we're ready to take it to the next level with this cost share program.
It's exciting. I can't imagine there would be any naysayers, because the reality, you said it really well. They're non-native and they destroy. And man, that you get a group comes in on you, it's not a good thing at all. And people who are fighting them know. And you can wipe out hundreds and hundreds of them, and months later, they have a way of backfilling pretty rapidly, don't they?
You do. You have some activists who are like, why do you want to kill these sweet little pigs? And the fact is, they are destroying millions, hundreds of millions of dollars of our crops every year in our greatest industry in agriculture, not to mention destroying deer habitat, turkey habitat. And so we've got to take action. That we've got the information on our website for the cost share program. There's an application people can fill out, and we want you to be involved in that and take advantage of this brand new, first of its kind program.
So if you have hog issues, go read about the hog control program at the Department of Agriculture website so you can learn more. Hey, listen, it's been a pleasure to see you, Andy.
Thank you for having me. We'll look forward to next time.
You bet. When we come back on the other side, we're going to talk about restocking freshwater fish. We'll see you after this. Welcome back to SuperTalk Outdoors as we listen to my friend Steve Azar in One Mississippi, the theme song for SuperTalk Outdoors and the new state song for Mississippi. I was talking with my buddy, a really good friend the other day, and Craig Ray, who's formerly head of Visit Mississippi, and we were chatting about Steve and said Steve's literally one of the nicest people we have ever met. Steve Azar is a really, really cool dude. He's extraordinarily talented, too. And now he has the distinction of having the state song for Mississippi and One Mississippi. We're so proud of Steve. But if you don't listen to his show that plays on SuperTalk on Thursdays and Fridays called In a Mississippi Minute, you ought to go listen to it. He talked to so many interesting people. And you get to know Steve. You get to know this guy who can literally talk to anybody. And he loves the world and he loves people, and you can really tell it. Hey, let me say it again. Google Mississippi Foundation Raffle. Google that. That's the quickest way to get to the ticket, the website where you can buy your tickets to the Foundation Raffle that's underway right now, so that you have an opportunity to get one of these incredible prizes and also support the Foundation's efforts to protect Mississippi's outdoors legacy. I want to say it again. Picture yourself in a brand new Ford vehicle with a $50,000 voucher, or going turkey hunting with turkey hunting legends Cuz Strickland and Preston Pittman, or imagine the adventure of a lifetime on an African safari, or taking a group of your best friends Argentina dove hunting. If you haven't been Argentina dove hunting, you wouldn't believe how amazing it is. There's also the Ultimate Outdoors package that's filled with top-of-the-line gear for all your outdoor adventures. So just remember, the Foundation Raffle is closing out on July the 30th, so you got to hurry. Go search Mississippi Foundation Raffle now and buy your tickets. I know I'm going to do that, and learn more about the prizes. And again, buy your tickets and tell your friends about it. I mean, what a great way to support the foundation, but also have a chance to win amazing prizes. Hey, listen, as I say every week, one of the wonderful things about having the opportunity to do SuperTalk Outdoors is that we have this incredible relationship with the Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks, and we get to really zero in on the people who work there, and they're making such a difference. And I'm so honored today to have my new friend, Brooks Warren, who is an environmental and natural resource science specialist for the department, and he does a lot of different things, but he's really focused on stocking our lakes in Mississippi. He's done extensive work at the Turcotte Fish Hatchery, and he's very passionate. I can tell from the conversation he and I had before the show started that he's very passionate about the outdoors as well. Without any further ado, let me welcome my friend Brooks Warren to SuperTalk Outdoors. How you doing, Brooks?
Good. How are y'all?
Hey, we're doing really good. Hey, listen, we were sharing notes before the show started. I love to backwater fish along the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and then do a lot of offshore fishing this time of year. And from time to time I get to a lake in Mississippi and enjoy some bass fishing. But that's sort of your thing, isn't it? You love the lakes of Mississippi, don't you?
Yeah, I really do. I really do enjoy fishing the lakes, freshwater lakes in Mississippi. I fish a lot of the Oxbow lakes around the Delta. Of course, I fish here at Ross Barnett. I live in Madison. So I utilize what I can and fish when I can, as long as it's not too hot.
Yeah, man, it's been brutal this this year. We have had, thank goodness, we've had some good storms to cool it down from time to time. But it can rain torrentially, certainly here in coastal Mississippi. And I think this is true no matter where in the state you are. And within 30 minutes of raining torrentially, have a heat index of well over 100 degrees. That's just the way it is this time of year, isn't it?
That's right. It's Mississippi. It's Mississippi. Sure.
So where did you learn your love of the outdoors, Brooks?
So my dad always fished. My grandfather always fished. They were kind of big into brim fishing and cat fishing. I joined a bass club when I was in high school, and kind of just took off from there. And I've fished with them for the past 10 or so years, and just really enjoy it.
Do you fish tournaments?
I do every now and then. We fish just once a month with our club, and then I'll get in some odd and ends tournaments around here. Just when time allows.
Well, you know what? It's pretty cool to see the number of clubs, bass clubs, and other freshwater fishing clubs across the state of Mississippi. The number of club tournaments and bigger tournaments. But right. Mississippi's gotten really popular when it comes to bass tournaments, hasn't it?
They sure have. There's a lot of people, a lot of clubs around. I hear about a new club, it seems like every week, that's got 10 or 15 boats fishing all over the state.
I mentioned last week on the show that when one of the local clubs here in coastal Mississippi has sort of, I don't know if they do shotgun starts or how they do it, but suddenly, I live on Back Bay, man, they just come zooming by. And you know what's interesting? I mean, this is true, about all technology today as it relates to boating. But man, the engines they're putting on back of these bass boats are just incredibly fast, aren't they?
They are. They've come a long way. The new 4-strokes are hard to beat. They're the best ones I've ever seen.
I've got twin 300s on I have an Everglades, a 30-foot Everglades, and it's It's incredible. We do long runs here in coastal Mississippi. It's not unusual for us to run 70 miles before we can start fishing. So you need a fast boat. You need a boat that you can rely on. And the Yamaha 300s that I have, I don't want to jinx myself. I'm going to knock on wood and do this like across, because you know how that is. But yeah. I treat my engines, and you probably do the same thing. I treat my engines like an airplane. I mean, I don't take, once a year I do what you got to do. I pay super close attention. Right. I never skimp on maintenance costs of those engines. I want them to be at their top running order at all times. And if you take care of them like that, they'll last. If you don't do that, they're not going to last, are they?
Absolutely not. Like I say, I get mine tuned up every year, and I run non-ethanol pretty much exclusively through it, and I'm always adding additive and treatment to it, and it ain't failed me yet. So.
Yeah, man, that's what I do too. Just you got to take care of it. So, as I've said on the show, I spent a lot of time talking about the freshwater lakes of Mississippi, and the rivers. Like, for example, we spent some time last week talking about the Pascagoula River Complex and how lucky we are to have that incredible United States treasure here in Mississippi, the largest undammed waterway in the continental United States. It's incredible what we have, but we don't have great lakes, and this is true with private lakes and also the public lakes. We don't have great lakes without incredible attention on making sure pH is right, make sure that we've got great restocking programs in place. The state has really refined their approach as it relates to all those things over the years, and we're kind of on the cutting edge now, aren't we?
We are, for sure. So we have regional biologists all throughout the state, and they're constantly doing krill surveys and shocking and getting data on the lakes. And they come back to me and they give me a quota every year for what I need to raise and stock for their lakes. And depending on what that quota is what I'll raise and hopefully stock out that year. And like I say, it's all throughout the state.
So if you it's a super attention that's being placed on this. And we talked last week about how, as you mentioned, the biologists are geographically distributed, and they pay close attention to the lakes that they have responsibility for. But what this does is it puts a lot of pressure on getting the fish hatcheries right. You guys are really focused. Now, like, just for example, the Turcotte Fish Hatchery, how many separate fish are you? First of all, are you restocking, and how many of those are you restocking?
Yeah, so we do bluegill red ear, bluegill red ear sunfish, Florida largemouth bass. We do hybrid striped bass and striped bass in the spring, and then from time to time we do shad and we do grass carp, and like I've got some catfish now, but it's. Like this past spring, I think we stocked out 600,000 fingerling largemouth bass throughout the state.
Wow, that's really incredible. So the fish hatchery is 24-hour a day, 7-day-a-week operation, isn't it?
Yes, it can be in the spring. It gets pretty hectic up there, and you can work, long days for sure.
So, Brooke, you went to Mississippi State. You graduated in 2016. You mentioned that it's kind of a family thing, that you've been involved in the outdoors most of your life. How did you know you wanted to do this?
Yeah, so I did some volunteer work while I was in school, and I took a couple classes up there. Had some great professors, and they really kind of just made me love it more than I thought I already did. And I joined on contract in 2016 with the state. And worked on contract for about, I'd say, 6 months or so, and then hired on full time in 17.
Let's do this. We'll pick it up right there when we get on the other side. But we're talking with environmental and natural resource specialist Brooks Warren, and he's an avid outdoorsman. He's really involved in hatchery program and restocking programs here in Mississippi, which is one of the reasons we're the capital of the outdoors in America. When we come back, we'll enjoy a final segment with Brooks Warren. We'll see you after this.
We live in one of the best places in America to enjoy the outdoors. So let's talk about it. It's SuperTalk Outdoors with Ricky Matthews on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Welcome back to SuperTalk Outdoors. We're having a terrific conversation with my new friend, Brooks Warren, who's an environmental and natural resource specialist for the Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks, as we continue to sort of focus on the incredible employees of the Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks. You know, Brooks, one of the interesting things about your story, and I hear this often, is the role that Mississippi State plays in, it's like Mississippi State's program is like a glue. So many people in the department went to Mississippi State and they got stuck to this notion of playing a role in the conservation legacy of this state. This program, or the various programs they have that are focused on this, they do a good job of making you get dedicated and wanting you to sort of commit your life to this effort, don't they?
Yeah, they sure do. Like I say, I had a great time up there at Mississippi State. Lucky enough, I got offered a job with the state right out of college, and have not had any desire to leave, and love my job and enjoy going to work every day.
So when we went to break, you were mentioning that you did some contract work for a little while, and then you ultimately hired on. What did you do initially?
Yeah, so I was kind of the low man on the totem pole. I worked here at the hatchery. I was doing anything, helping harvest ponds, to cutting grass, upkeep around the hatchery, kind of stuff like that. And then, they let me go on fish stocking and stuff like that, and really just kind of worked my way up from there to where I am today.
So when you're talking to someone about what you do today, how do you talk about it?
Well, I say that I am the manager of Turcotte Fish Hatchery, and so pretty much what I do is I raise fish to stock all throughout the state. We have brood fish we keep year round at the hatchery, and we use those fish every year to meet our quota, and kind of go from year to year on that.
Listen, when you, I was going to ask you, before I ask you that question about the people that you're surrounded by, how many people actually work at Turcotte?
So technically there's only me right now. We just had a guy leave for the feds. We were trying to get somebody else hired. So if anybody out there is looking for a job, it'll be listed here shortly, hopefully.
Well, sorry. Here's the thing, man. If you help people get what they want out of life, you'll get what you want out of life. So it's not always a bad thing to see people achieve their goals and leave to go do other things. That's what makes the world go around. And I would imagine you're probably a terrific guy to work with, and you won't have trouble finding someone who wants to work with you doing the mission of Turcotte Fish Hatchery. I can assure you this. But, in your day-to-day world at the department, you come in contact with some incredible people.
Right.
I mean, can you imagine that there would be such a collection of people who are so dedicated to making sure Mississippi stays the capital of the outdoors in America? It's incredible, isn't it?
It really is. It really is. Our staff is very dedicated to what they do, and everybody has their own role and their own goal. And I feel like everybody kind of works together to get to that goal, that end goal of creating better fisheries throughout the state.
So you mentioned hybrid striped bass. My son Jordan caught one actually in Back Bay. It was a tagged striped bass, but it was a hybrid. It was about maybe 5 or 6 years ago, but it was absolutely huge, man.
Yes.
So we took a picture of it and let it go. But man, I mean, you guys have had a lot of success with the hybrid striped bass program, haven't you?
Yes, we really have. We try to put at least 165,000 in the Barnett most years, and that's all depending on water level and whether or not we can get a striped bass. I don't know if everybody knows, but a striped bass is a cross between a male striper, Gulf strain striper, and a female white bass. And we get our Gulf strain stripers are usually come from the spillway below Ross Barnett. And past few years with high water and stuff like that, it's been kind of hard to get them from time to time. But we're still looking, and we certainly do them whenever we can.
Well, that's interesting. Ross Barnett, man, that's a really special and important body of water. That's for the public to enjoy, isn't it?
Right. It sure is. There's a little bit of everything in it, and I feel like everybody's there's always boats out there. So
it's always interesting to hear this as the manager of Turcotte Fish Hatchery and someone who has spent, a career doing environmental and biology work around fish. When you go fishing on your own, which, you said at the beginning of the show, every opportunity you get, you're going to go fishing. What's your go-to lakes?
Yeah, so I like a lot of the oxbow lakes. I don't like throwing at nothing, so I got to go over there and throw at a tree or something. But like I say, I go to Washington a lot. I do go to the Ross Barnett, Bee Lake, Wolf Lake, Eagle Lake, a lot of the oxbow lakes.
Yeah, I lease a 250-acre tree farm on an oxbow lake in Chula. It's great deer hunting, good duck hunting as well, I might add. But man, you start studying the oxbows of Mississippi, and Lord have mercy, we might as well call Mississippi the land of 1,000 lakes because it's incredible. Hey, listen, we're out of time, Brooks, but it's been a pleasure to spend some time with you this morning, my friend.
Thank you.
This has been Brooks Warren. He's the environmental and natural resource specialist, and he's also head of the Turcotte Fish Hatchery. Just a continuation of incredible people we have the opportunity to visit with the Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks. Have a great week. Stay safe when you're in the outdoors. God bless you, and we will see you next week.